up, Charger fans? This is the San Diego Sports Junkies. We're down here at Cali Comfort. We've got our Charger party going on. There's people all over the place drinking. They're all excited about
Everybody's drunk already, Josh. Dude, I don't know what's going on here. People walking around like zombies.
Right?
It's crazy.
I'm wondering why is our keg...
It's empty.
Our keg has been tapped.
We will have to get more keg items from the beverage bar.
So guys, we got our playoff edition at Cali Comfort here in Spring Valley. Place is going off, Charger fans everywhere, they're excited. We got Bolo Ty right here, right in front of us, taking pictures. It's great.
Yes, sir.
Chargers Broncos this weekend.
Yes, sir. Playoff edition.
Playoff edition.
Yeah, we got a big game coming up here. So
educate this old man. What the fuck's a podcast?
What we're doing? Oh, now you're in the middle of our live podcast.
What the hell is a podcast?
Okay, we'll explain it to you. It's an online streaming to a bunch of fans that subscribe to your internet website. So they can click on our link and listen to us live right now. It's like being on 1090, but just on the internet.
What is your name?
We're the San Diego Sports Junkies, right behind you.
Oh, I'm supposed to read it.
Oh, yeah. That's all right, dude.
Oh, so that's not a dartboard.
No way. We're down here with the Bolt Pride members. We got a couple of veterans down here with the Sarge. He's been giving us some great stories tonight. They are in the West End Zone. They have Bolt Pride lit up as a banner down there. You can't miss them. They've been there for years. Tonight's all about just Charger Pride. We're talking football night. Well, not all night because we got to go to bed eventually. But, as far as playoff football, we're going to get into that. We're going to dive into the Bronco game, get a little education going on, and see what happens here.
So, Sarge.
Tell me.
Welcome to the show, my brother.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, brother.
Bolt Pride at his best.
Now, Sarge. Okay, keys to the game, Sunday. Keys to the game. I know you have your keys. It's going to be a tough matchup. We know that. Peyton Manning's difficult to handle, but we've handled it before. I think the Chargers go in there like they did against Cincinnati and punch them in the mouth. Same mentality. The Chargers didn't have a bye week. They didn't have any time to rest, relax. They got injuries coming in. What are your keys to the game? Specifically, a couple keys that you think will get a Charger victory this weekend.
Okay, specifically on what we've seen with the Chargers.
Right.
Okay, starting from when we thought we were out of the playoffs, right? The guys played very simply for fun. Right?
They're loose.
They played for fun. They're loose. They're cool.
No expectations are very high.
I mean, we've heard it before. The pressure is on Manning the Broncos to win.
Right.
Right.
He wants that ring.
We know that temperature means nothing to our guys. It's just like I'm a little older. Just like when we played outside. Just go out there, have fun.
Right.
Forget about the point differential. They think we've lost it. They think we lost this game. It's very simple. Get out there, have fun.
Right. Play Charger football.
Do your job.
Yeah.
Do your job.
And that's been their mentality.
And stay in your position.
Right.
It was very crucial when I think when English got that interception. I think there was an audible or something called. He was in his position, and I think,
you're absolutely right.
And I think they asked him, they audible,
Butler
and he took a couple.
Melvin Ingram.
Yes.
Yeah, Ingram. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I've been drinking.
It's
but
okay.
It's great beer.
He's coming in as a Charger fan.
So
it's
we're blaming this on IPA, right?
Right?
Drink your hops.
Anyway, get him down and fast.
Because when they put you 6 feet under, it's too late.
That's not good either.
So, just when you hear veteran people telling you what to do and move over, those one or two crucial steps that he took, change the tide. That was one of the change of tides.
Right.
That changed the tides of the game.
Of course.
It was very important when they showed about Fluker, right? I think McCoy was saying, execute, stay committed, do it until the clock ends. Me as a maintenance guy, you work until the clock blows.
Right.
So until the whistle ends, you keep doing.
Right.
Do
your job.
If Fluker wouldn't have executed and wouldn't have kept chasing whoever was the one that started the fumble.
It's a hard hat mentality.
Yes.
Do
your yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do your
You know
job.
what I'm saying?
Literally, do your job.
But this is what it represents. I mean, all year, right? We've been kind of like surprised about the team, right? So we look back and the last 3 years, and we go, what the fuck, man? What's going on with this team right now? Norv Turner's going on with the team. AJ Smith's going on with the team. We get a new regime in there. They have new policies up from dress code to the way you're supposed to act on a travel day, you know? So when you get into all that, you got a new president on board. Mike McCoy's been nothing but great for this team. He's been very positive. Would you agree on the new establishment?
I would totally agree on that.
New vibe, right?
Just, everybody, there's been a whole bunch of little different vibes, but everybody focuses on one vibe that really paints a good color on it.
Right.
When McCoy tells Whittle, if you see something, change it.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. If you see something, change it.
What is that? That's trust in your veterans.
Trust in your instincts.
You've been here. And I think they even there might have been when McCoy seen Whittle, on that fourth down change.
Yeah, of course. The punt.
It was like, but it happened.
Well, and that's what it brings me to. So when he got in here, he goes, you know what he said? He goes, Josh and me talked about this a lot. He gave the reins to Phillip Rivers. He goes, the keys are in your hands, dude. He goes, I'm not going to be Norv Turner. I'm not going to sit here and call all your fucking plays. If you go to the line and you see something you need to change, then change the damn fucking play. And you've seen it all year, have you not?
I have, and you know what's more? You know what I want to say about that is I think it's some of our great quarterbacks that you see, the Paytons, the Bradys, and all that,
and the Rivers.
Well, Rivers didn't have it. Now he does.
Well,
now
just get a couple down years.
I think now, okay, so maybe it takes. Maybe some people take a few more hard knocks to get it.
Right. You take your bumps and bruises a little bit.
But the hard knocks don't always come just on the field. It comes up in management too.
All right, exactly.
So they got the hard knocks not only down in the field, but up in management.
Right.
And so we changed management.
Right.
And we changed stuff on the field. And you know what? They're having fun, guys.
They're having
fun.
Isn't that the coolest part?
I see it the most out of Phillip and Fluker.
Oh my God, isn't that beautiful?
Isn't that cool, Fluker?
Look.
Fluker's attitude is amazing.
Yeah. For a rookie, right?
Rivers is a very emotional and expressive person.
Yes.
All right. And we've seen him be very, very frustrated.
Right.
But we didn't know why. Right? We didn't know. Maybe we could speculate on what was going on in the background.
Right.
We don't have to speculate anymore. We know it's out in the open.
Right.
But now you look at those guys and you look at their expressions. Right. They're having fun.
They are. And that's been the whole, I think, right, Josh? I mean, has that not been the key to this season?
And Justin, I think you said it. Yeah. They're trusting.
They're trusting.
They're loose. They're having fun.
How do you not go into a situation, right? Mike McCoy takes a job where he has an established quarterback. When you're a rookie head coach, there are not a lot of jobs that pop up where you have a solid veteran quarterback. I bet he jumped for joy when they offered him the job to San Diego. You know what I mean? You got to come in here with a veteran quarterback and a run game, and you know you can get Ryan Matthews back on track.
Right.
And he has. And look what kind of year Ryan Matthews has had. No LT stats, but it's solid play. Solid play out of your running back. You know what I'm saying?
I love LT, and LT was our great offense at that particular time. But LT was, I want to say, restrained by the management that he had at that time. At that particular time, he did the best that he could with the restraints that management had at that particular time.
Absolutely.
But now, there's different management. Restraints have been broken.
Yes, sir.
But with restraints being broken, you have this beautiful thing called trust.
Right.
You hired and you went out to train and I don't know how you call it.
Develop players.
Professional players.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Okay. So
and you bring in winners. People like.
So why are you telling them how to do their job when you hired them to do the job?
Right. And you get rid of guys like Sean Phillips, who was all about himself. And you bring in Danny Woodhead.
People that have played for the team.
And people like that, Jared Johnson, that are all about the team.
Yes.
They want to win.
No,
they're not all about themselves.
You know what? It was. I think I think there was some commentary going on there when Ryan Matthews I think got injured, and Ryan Matthews came out, right? And then Woodhead was doing some of the plays.
Right.
And once again, forgive me because I've had quite a few beers.
That's all right. So have we.
Okay, and then we brought in another running back.
Yeah, we got Ronnie Brown.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the first play or whatever, he didn't do good. You know?
Right.
And everybody's
He didn't
going
get the opportunity to do good.
and everybody's going like, well, why you bring him in? You know,
Right.
you know. And I'm like, well, you know what? You have 1 tier, 2 tier, and even 3 tier of professional adult athletes.
Right.
Okay?
Right. Exactly.
You know what? Get him in there, let him get banged up,
Yeah.
and let's
Let him get his nicks and
yeah.
bruises. You know, that's
And,
how
you
you
know,
do it.
And you know, it's very, like I want to say, something as a Charger season ticket holder. If there's one thing I've experienced is September and October. Yeah, they're good games, they're home games, they're beautiful games, but stuff really doesn't happen till November and December.
Right.
People get injured. It's the second half of the season.
And that's what brings us to this year. I mean, did we think at 5-7 this team was going to be a playoff contender? You know what I mean? We all still believed. It's not we weren't going to be Charger fans. We're diehards. And you are as well. I know that. But when you get to that point and you go, man, this is not going to be the season we had thought, maybe out of the gates. But they kept fighting. They got back to 7-7. They got back to the place where they could get even keel, and then started rattling off some wins late in December, like Phillip Rivers always does, right? Always does. And people want to say that we backed in. I don't care what we did. We got in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter if we backed in or this and that.
No, I totally agree. And my point is, it's like they use the terminology second half team.
Right.
Okay, well, November and December is the second half.
Of course.
Right?
Exactly. And where does Phillip Rivers thrive?
The first part of the Cincinnati game, 10-7. Look what happened on the second half.
Yeah.
Right?
Total defensive domination.
So it's okay. I want to sound knowledgeable, but it might not come that way.
That's all right.
It's okay. We'll correct you if we need to.
I'll tell you what. Looking positive going into the playoffs and walking or back or stepping back, whatever, into the playoffs. Right. First thing. First goal is playoffs.
Right.
Period. I don't give a shit what you say.
Right.
You gotta make the playoffs.
Right.
Whether
If
you're
everybody
1
has
or
the
whether
same-
you're 6,
Well,
it doesn't matter.
and you see it.
Everybody has the
You got-
same
you-
opportunities.
You're 0-0. All right.
And you've seen
But
you've seen how the city responds when you make the playoffs. You see all the people,
if
you know.
you go into the playoffs, you can lose, and this is what's very important about the first half and second half. You can lose a couple games in the first half of the season, September, October.
Right.
But you come in strong the last couple of games, and you're winning. I don't care. Momentum is a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Right? You can go 9-0, 10-0. You know, use
13-3 if you want to take Denver.
Lose 4
Yeah,
of your
exactly.
last 5,
Right.
and now you're walking in. You're like, okay, well, we're in. But the team itself, because you're 9-0, 10-0, okay, we're in. Do they mentally slack off?
Right.
Do they say we're in? You know, we're gonna relax until we hit the playoff game.
Right.
You know, are you back separate? And all of a sudden, you got to bait the playoff game, and now you're 0-0, and you're 1 and done.
Yeah.
So I go with.
Because
You know
once you
what?
get in, it doesn't
You know,
matter.
I go with second half. It's like the last part of a battle. You know, me being an old Air Force sergeant.
Yes, sir.
You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the first bullets you fire off. It's the last one and who takes the fucking hit.
Right.
All right?
Exactly.
So you can shoot all you want on the first one and look glory because you blew the fuck out of the fucking hill.
Right.
But you know what? If you don't take the hill,
Right.
all right.
Last man standing.
So for them to have that momentum of just going in like the way it is, I think it's very important that I think there's not only an emotional, a team building to go in winning like you are. All right.
Absolutely.
I don't know what you call it.
Emotional.
Scratching, carving, doing whatever it takes to get in,
Scratching
to get out of your foxhole,
Right.
and get to the next step.
Right.
You know, get to the next manhole, get to the next whatever.
And the Chargers have had their backs against the wall since after we lost to the Bengals. We were 5-7, and they've had to play playoff football for the last 6 weeks. And
They
they say
had to play it.
the hottest team getting into the playoffs, that is the team that's most dangerous. And that's why they keep saying that about San Diego.
We had this discussion on Wednesday. You know, me and Josh and our other buddy Jason, we do the podcast every Wednesday night. We were talking about what a gritty bunch this is. What a gritty group of guys this has been this season. They've responded to every challenge met. Yeah, they lost some close games this year. Washington, they shouldn't have lost to. They shouldn't have lost to Miami. We all know that. They were one game away from solidifying their spot in the playoffs without all the help, you know? And we all know that. If they would have won one extra game, we wouldn't be sitting here stressing our asses out. You know, the last 2 weeks of the season having Baltimore and Miami have to lose ball games. But it happened for us. And we got some breaks in the Chiefs game, which were great. So you know what? You know, like Josh said, it's a team of destiny to me too, as well as Josh. We believe the same thing, because like we were talking earlier, Sarge, it's not the 06 team where LT was breaking records. It's not as talented. Low Neal blocking for him. We had some veterans on that team who are outstanding. This is a makeshift squad on defense, finally getting healthy at the right time, coming together as a cohesive unit, and now they're putting it together at the fucking right time, dude. Going into the playoffs to Denver, where we've already won and beat them in their house, they are, like you said, they've got all the pressure in the world. That's what's going to be fun this Sunday.
My thought out to send out to certain people, anyone out there that's listening, thinking about it, is like,
We got plenty of followers.
True Charger fan, right? True Charger fan. And you know, the NFL is talking about, 14 playoff teams, right, and all that other stuff.
Right.
The way I see it, and the way I've always seen it. First, September, October, fun games, gather people.
Yeah.
You do good, you do well. My personal thing is, our Chargers were in playoff mode in December.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, of course.
So we've been in playoff mode,
Right.
all right, since they started sorting it out.
And that's what they're
We
preaching.
have been in playoff mode.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
To the schedule, to the sportscasters, whatever. It's regular season, and we've been in playoff mode since the beginning of December.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Exactly.
So there's a point in time where the team either says, you know what, I made my money, I'm good, we'll wait for the draft picks next year, we're not going to make it,
Right.
But then there's other teams, like our Chargers, and you know what, guys? Playoffs do not start in January. Playoffs starts December 1st.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we've been in playoff mode.
Well, when you go 5-7, I mean, we all realized what was going on with the team. They were sputtering, and
They're trying to find
they
themselves.
couldn't get out of their own way at times. We're sitting there going, okay, this isn't going to be the team this year, and we were fine with that. This is what's cool about the season. We were okay with, it's a new coach. We lost some close games. They were heartbreakers, but we got in the playoffs. And do you think you're going to tell anybody in that locker room, Phillip Rivers, all the veterans, Gatesy, you think you're going to tell any of those guys that it doesn't mean anything? No, because everybody keeps talking about Peyton Manning and how important this game is to him. I disagree. This playoff game means a lot to Phillip Rivers because his legacy isn't built on the 04 draft, and he was traded for Eli Manning. Eli Manning's got 2 rings. So does Ben Roethlisberger. He wants to win a ring too, so he wants to go to New York.
He wants to prove that he's back to being an elite
Yeah,
quarterback.
he wants to be the spoiler in this role. We can go into Denver and compete with them as best as any team in this freaking league. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, bro.
So going into this weekend against Denver, we played really well in Cincinnati. It was a really good team effort, offensively, defensively, special teams, but defense really stood out. Do you think that Pagano and the defense can reduplicate what they did in Cincinnati?
I do.
I believe they can reduplicate what they did in Cincinnati, and I think they have the talent, the brain power, the whatever I want to call it, lightning bolt and thunder magic. All right, because
Bring the storm.
whatever it is that they might do, we can counter. We have the brains, we have the smarts, we have the experience.
Yes, sir.
And we can.
Yeah.
It's all gonna fall down very simple. Execution.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Observation, execution, do your job, all right? And very important, listen to the captain about your audible.
Yes, sir.
They see something, man your position.
Right.
Manning your position and changing was, yes, we can do that.
Yeah.
We can so do that.
I agree with you.
It's very, very doable. But here's the thing. We're not expected to do that.
Exactly.
We are not, Chargers are not expected to follow that.
Which makes us more dangerous.
Yeah, and we are a different team.
Yes.
We are a different team. And that group, they have a whole different karma and
It's a mindset.
around them. It's
just,
beautiful.
I think it's the only the 53 guys in that locker room right now that are betting on themselves, because outside of San Diego, nobody gives them a shot in hell Sunday afternoon. Really.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's always been a back against the wall mentality. You know what I'm saying? So this whole year has been a back against the wall mentality since 5 and 7. Since 5 and 7, it's been playoff football, like you said. And that's been the key to this season, because they had nothing to lose but to go up. Get your wins and get back in the race.
I'm just curious, when we played Denver on that Thursday game, was I the only one that was surprised how much the TV camera was focused on Peyton Manning on the sideline? Because he couldn't do a damn thing, and I was like, it's about damn time. And then, so you put a combination of the two.
Okay, it wasn't just you, dude.
Put a combination of the two. Cincinnati game, Bronco game.
Right.
Keep him on the sideline. One. If he does get in there, make him run around like Dalton, the way he was limping on the third and fourth quarter, had that scared look on him like did.
Peyton's not as mobile, so that makes our defense that much
Put him in the
more
ground.
dangerous.
Put him in the ground.
Yes.
Keep him on the sideline.
Yes, sir.
And if he does decide to come and throw a few passes, put him in the ground.
Yes, sir.
And we have the skills.
I think we're more equipped now, Josh, to handle this situation more. Melvin Ingram, I believe it was his first game back when he played Denver. He wasn't all there. I mean, you saw what he did against Cincinnati.
Right.
I mean, I think he can be a game changer. I know he's coming off injury.
Right.
We've seen him get after the quarterback already, and we know he can pass rush.
Well, like we were talking about on Wednesday, is the fact that going into the season, at least we thought the defense was the strong point of this team.
Yeah.
Our front seven with Melvin Ingram, Kendall Reyes, Donald Butler, Manti Te'o, Jared Johnson.
Right.
You know, our front seven was going to get pressure that past defenses have not.
Right.
And like you said before we started the show, is that defense helps our secondary. By getting to the quarterback, by causing turmoil with Peyton Manning, our secondary doesn't have to chase the receivers around as long, and it causes more turnovers like it happened in Cincinnati.
Right, a front seven does wonders for your secondary. Remember how bad the secondary was in the first half of the year?
Yeah.
Receivers are burning our corners. We're throwing our hands up like, where's the coverage? All of us are pissed off. It's because there's no pressure up front. The linebackers aren't doing their jobs. The front line wasn't doing their jobs. At times, not all the time, but there was breakdowns in the defense. And like we said earlier, now it's starting to come together with being healthy. You got a healthy Melvin Ingram. You got pieces coming together now. So those are the type of things that make a playoff run into Denver. And what we did to Dalton last week wasn't a fluke. John Pagano sent blitz packages from every different direction. He was confusing the hell out of him, and you saw he threw 3 picks. So
that was the beautiful thing about mixing up the blitz packages.
Yeah.
Extremely, because he did not know where it was coming from.
Right.
He did not know where it was coming from. And you talk about what we can do and can't do on the line. You know, I was sitting in my seats on that Charger game against the Colts when Cromartie had like 4 interceptions against Peyton Manning against the Colts, right? and it was a magical year. It was a magical game. You know, the most important thing about the game is that our pass rush was in Peyton's face so fast that he had to release the ball in 2-3 seconds.
Right.
So our secondary didn't have to cover that.
There you go. Yeah, no, and that was the key. Exactly.
We were right back
we
there.
flustered him like normal.
They have to release the ball.
Yes, sir. Sarge, this is Rob. Rob Sarge.
Hey, how you doing, man? Nice to meet you.
We're here with Rob. What's up, man?
How you doing?
We're at Cali Comfort Barbecue.
Absolutely.
We're just doing a live podcast. Nothing crazy. We're not that cool. We're just hanging out, talking Charger football. That's all, dude.
Charging football.
Yes, sir.
All you have to do is say Charging football.
Yeah, we're just talking bolts. And what's your perception of the season? How it's gone? Was it so good at the beginning? Some people want to say we backed in, but we didn't. We earned the damn fucking win. So,
Absolutely.
What do you think?
You know, I'm born and raised here in San Diego, California.
Die hard.
All the way.
Yes, sir.
You know, win or lose, Chargers are always there. They've always been there for me and my team.
Oh, yeah. They're there every Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely. You know, I'm employed here at Cali Comfort.
Yes, sir.
When I,
What's up, buddy?
what's up, dude?
How are you?
Good. You know, when I found out I was coming into Charger Nation here, that made it more exciting.
Yes, sir.
To me.
Hey, this is what it's about. This whole thing it's Charger fans.
Absolutely.
This is playoff football.
Yep.
This brings communities together, friends together. We just met Sarge from Bolt Pride, West End Zone. They've been there for years. They got the banner. They're badass, man. This is big shit here. Every time Double X is on, they mention Bolt Pride all the time.
Absolutely.
So I mean, good people. Yeah, of course. And I mean, if you've been here a long time, you get it.
Absolutely.
You know, and we're just bringing everybody. And we got the opportunity to do this. So meeting people and getting their take on the season. That's all.
You know, my take on the season is, you know, of course, I get the Chargers. I was a little freaked out at the beginning, but you know, you
gotta believe.
You know, just understand that, you know, things happen for a reason, and this is it. I think this is going to be our year.
And that's it too. And how could you not believe in Phillip Rivers? I mean, the man's exciting, right? He makes.
I almost wore the jersey of
Right,
Phillip Rivers, but I decided to do
Like, doesn't he make every game exciting because of his passion?
He does.
And everybody wants to talk crap outside of San Diego, but that's the thing, you know. That's what makes Phillip Rivers Phillip Rivers. His passion for the game. We all love that. Everybody else hates it because they think he's crying. But that's just him being him, you know.
Rivers, he's explosive, man. He has a heart.
What's your name? Will. Will's on the podcast. We're on Spreaker.com. Live broadcast from Cali Comfort Barbecue. We're just talking Charger football, playoff football. What do you think about the season? What's going on with it, man? Do you think we backed in like people are saying, or what? People say we're backed into the playoffs. Preferably this guy.
We got in there with luck, but
Hey, you got to have a little luck on your side, though, right?
but the way I'm saying, like, you know, we had luck. The main few teams just to make the playoffs, like the Ravens and Dolphins, where we depend on.
Of course.
But the Chargers, the way they played a good game.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Played an awesome game, and you know.
Hey, they got to the next round. It doesn't really matter how you got in, what people say about you.
Even if the Ravens and Dolphins won their games, I still.
I'm sorry, this
city's
been starving for a playoff for 3 years.
Starving.
We didn't want to go 4, and we got some luck for Baltimore losing twice, Miami. We understand that, but to say the refs cheated and I'm like, that's not our fault. We're not the refs, and that's their job.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, we got Pittsburgh from the choir over here, but it's okay. But
you guys were crying on it.
Yeah, Steeler fans are pretty bent.
The West End Zone, and that when they missed that field goal and it came down, I have that goalpost. It's right above me. I seen them miss field goal, and I just thought to myself, when they missed that, I was like, oh shit, I don't have a beer. But I tell you what, I never thought about Pittsburgh's now out of it.
Right.
But you know what?
Hey, that's the playoffs, though. I mean,
that's playoffs.
But it was one win away.
I'm just trying to think about how many Steeler fans, when it was, I mean, it looks like a sure field goal. And if I was a Steeler fan and I was looking at KC, and I'm looking, you got 8 seconds left for 3 points, I'd be celebrating too.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, we're in the playoffs. Pittsburgh's in, 3 points in.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's going to
the crazy thing is, You had to have 2 straight weeks for 2 teams to lose 4 games.
You know what?
And the Steelers wouldn't even have a chance anyway. If they would have won 1 game, we wouldn't have been in.
You know what? Okay, Steelers. Okay,
But that's just that is absurd to have 2 teams lose 4 games.
This is not the one that gets me. The one that gets me is, okay, Steelers fans, I get that part. But here's the one that gets me. If I had a heart, I would send it out to the Dolphins and Ravens, but I don't.
But I know.
Here's the thing.
Nobody likes people with
Here's
hearts.
the thing. As a Dolphin and Raven fan, all right, you have 2 weeks to win one game.
One game.
One game. That's it.
Yeah.
1 game.
That's it.
You know.
That's it.
Okay. You screw up the first time. You know. Second time, you're like, all you had to do was win 1 game.
Right.
I mean, I've heard of disappointment. I've heard of heart loss. But damn, both teams, all they had to do was win 1 game.
And
I don't even want to fathom.
Well, that's the craziest part about it. I mean,
You know, it was luck when the Dolphins and Ravens lost, but when the Chargers had to play, we played a good game. And
You know, in our
when we had to win, we won.
on the Charger Kansas City tailgate, the Bullfrog tailgate, you know, we had the DirecTV, we had the satellite, we had the TV going on. We
Right.
were watching the game.
Of course.
Before we even had to go in.
Right.
So when we went in to watch the game, we already knew. We seen the results. So we're like, and this is what I have to talk to the NFL about because we have great tailgates. We
get Commissioner Goodell on the phone.
All of a sudden we have to tear it down because we have to go into a game. All right, so we got that whole tailgate. We extend the tailgate.
There you go.
You know what?
Hey, well, no, we don't even get into that. Jeez.
But anyway, all
No,
we
you
have
know
to do,
what I'm saying.
now we're walking in and we're like, all we have to do is win.
Yeah, exactly. That was
You
the
know,
best part about it.
we're sitting there, we're drinking, we're dancing, we're
You were
tailgating.
drinking at a Charger game, were you?
Oh no, we're guzzling. Sorry.
That's what I'm talking about. You were pounding. Anyway.
I'm sorry. English is my second language.
No, Sarge, though, I mean, let me ask you something. I was at the Kansas City game, and we watched the morning games, and we were as ecstatic as anybody. When you went into that stadium, didn't it feel like it was 2006, 2007 all over again when we won? I mean, it gave me goosebumps up the wazoo. I mean,
was here.
right.
I got 'em.
I mean, that stadium was so. I mean, it was when LT broke the record against the Broncos. You know, and it's that kind of emotion that you go, holy shit, we're back in the playoffs. And it was like the whole city woke up. You know.
You know what's the beauty? If you were in that stadium, like I've been for many of the wins for many years. I've been
For many years.
1990. You know, to see that and experience it from the West End Zone, right? To experience the overtime stuff. To stand there and you're like, you're in freaking history.
Yeah. Isn't that
We're
cool?
wasted, but we're in history. Right?
Yeah. No, but it's cool.
It's cool. It's like, and then, you know, there's a lot of fans out there, and there's a lot of seats, and it doesn't matter where you sit in there. A lot of people get to go to games, and a lot of people get to go to Charger games. But when you're sitting in a seat anywhere in the stadium, and you experience a game like that, and you feel the rumble and the energy that just, you know,
It's undescribable.
it was generated on the field.
See,
There's the clock, there's the scoreboard, and you see it, you know, almost like a nuclear explosion. You know, the synergy starts on the field and just fucking radiates up the sides of the fucking wall.
That's
And
crazy.
people are just fucking going crazy.
Yeah, they're
You're
ecstatic.
standing there and you're going like,
That was a very good
holy,
description,
and you're
by
like,
the way. You got me
fuck.
going there.
You're like, fuck.
Right.
No, you're like, seriously. No, you're like, seriously.
I felt like I was
I'm
there.
finally fucking there.
That's crazy.
You're finally fucking there.
Nice.
And it radiates and it just fucking explodes and implodes. Fucking emotions going in and out.
Yes, sir.
You don't know half the some people you've been drinking with,
Right.
but you're hugging them.
Yeah.
And it's just,
That's how
and you're
bad
like, and then, but you know what? Here's the thing. That kind of energy, you have to wait. You have to wait.
Not near the laptop.
Hopefully, you have to wait and you have to pray that maybe you get another game next year.
Very, very
Because
gently.
if few and far between. And then everybody walks up And it's a trip because you're screaming and hollering, but it's a trip because you look at people that were in that stadium, and they all have this day. It's like, you try and remember, holy shit, we're fucking here,
Yeah, it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. I want to get into the passion for fans. We know. I mean, we all been there and had the fun. I've been there for so many games, it's ridiculous. But I want to get into a little playoff talk. I want to get into some Denver Bronco talk.
Okay.
I want to know, like we were talking with you guys or you earlier. I want to know the keys to the game for you guys. I mean, give me one specific key to the game that would be game-changing for the Chargers this week against the Broncos, not against any other team, but specifically against the Broncos because we know they're a good team. We know we're up for a challenge, but the Broncos are shaking in their little boots because they don't want to play us again. They really don't want to see the lightning bolt across the field from them. They really don't. So, I mean, what would be the biggest key to the game to you guys?
Well, yeah, defense stepping up like they did against... I mean, what did we do? What did we do to Cincinnati?
Andy Dalton?
What was that, 10 points?
The Red Rocket?
I'm sorry, who?
Who that? He had a career year. Dude, Jason knows. He's a Steeler fan. He beat up on Cincinnati all year.
It would be mostly on the defense, stepping up. I mean, the offense is pretty good against Denver D.
Yeah.
But against the Denver offense, couldn't pin. Under pressure.
Yeah, and it's the mix. I guess it's the mixed coverages and the look. Remember last game we beat them at their house.
We can't do prevent. We can't just do like some kind of prevent from the throw to Decker or Thomas way downfield.
Right, and
we're gonna dump it short.
Yeah, I know, and I think
make sure that we take care of it.
Game under pressure, you can't really throw.
Well, Josh and I had talked about this on our Wednesday show. Mixing coverages and defensive schemes that John Pagano throws. I think he's lifetime 1-4 against John Pagano, and there's a reason for that. The Broncos gained 400 yards in 14 games this year. 400 plus yards. The only two games they didn't have 400 yards was against the Chargers. And it was in the low 300s.
We kept them to
Well, it's the low 300s, and that's hard to do in any NFL game.
They didn't need 400 yards in the first game.
Both games.
First game they beat you at home.
But they didn't get 400 yards.
They didn't need it.
No, they didn't. We made the mistake.
Right.
Yes.
They still beat you.
No, you're right.
I think that as a Steeler fan, the keys to the game for the Chargers to win would be having to stop Noshawn Moreno.
Of course.
A second string running back came in when you guys played KC and ran down your guys' throat.
It's okay. And we understood that.
Right. And then you guys didn't play an explosive, such an explosive running back when you guys went to Cincinnati as you're going to face when you go to Denver.
Well, I will disagree a little bit with that because the Bengals came in with a very stout run game.
And Jevion Bernard is a great...
Giovanni Bernard is an awesome running back.
He's also
the tandem, though.
Better out of the screen.
The tandem with the law firm.
Passes.
The tandem with the law firm was one of the best running duos in football this year. So I'm not going off of opinion. I'm just going off fact. And I get what you're saying. We stopped the run pretty stout, did we not?
Yes.
We showed up Sunday. Right. We did. So for me, it's stop Noshawn because, dude, he's had a killer year. You know he's on your fantasy team, Josh. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, carrying you to the playoffs. So first stop the run, play run-stopping defense. Right.
And then you stop Monte Ball a lot.
It's what we did the second time.
Walker wasn't in there.
So, going into this matchup, okay, we just had a podcast on Wednesday, and Justin's going to hate that I'm even going to say this or mention this word, but so we're 5-7, okay, and I keep telling Justin, I'm like, we're going to the playoffs. I had that feeling at 5-7. I look at our schedule and I'm saying we're going to the playoffs. If we go into Denver, we win that game, we're going to the playoffs. And he was a naysayer for the whole time. And maybe I'm too much up here, but I feel the same way now. I feel if we go into Denver and win against the Broncos, the Chargers are going to the Super Bowl.
You know what? Every time
Every time I see the Chargers play, I pray they're gonna win, all right? But there's this. The last couple of years have been when they win and they do something well, you're like, wow, okay, that's what we're supposed to do, right? And when they go somewhere else and mess up, you're like, okay, I think I share this thought with a whole bunch of Charger fans. On certain games, we wonder what team's showing up, right? We're wondering, okay, we had a great game over here, and then we fell apart over here.
It seems we rise more to the occasion. We play our opponent.
Yes, and so you're wondering who's showing up. So with that said, lately it's been like, okay, wait a minute. Okay, we have a different team now.
Right.
Okay, now it's like, now it used to be, and you guys will remember the old games. You guys will remember the old games. We would drive down the field and we'd kick a field goal.
Right.
Everybody would be like,
Katie.
We kick the field, here go, there's the game, right? If we scored 7 points, it was a touchdown. Oh, we can win this one.
Right.
We kick a field goal, we're like, oh no, not a field goal. You guys do remember that.
Yes.
But now it's like, we could be down 10 points, we can be down 14 points. Now it's like, you know what? 14 points, we can do this.
Absolutely.
It's like, no, and it's that whole vibe, that whole sensation. We haven't had that. And
Right.
it's a beautiful thing.
Now, can you? This is how I feel. When we were 14-2, and we're the number 1 seed, it was exciting, but at the same time, I still had a little bit of, can we do it?
Nervous going up against Patriots.
A nervous wreck. So I feel different now. Even though this team backed into the playoffs, whatever anybody wants to say, I feel a lot more confident about this team now than the team that was 14-2.
I am with you on that. And I think if you wanted to ask a good question to a 14-2 team or to
13-3 Bronco team right now.
that gets into the playoffs, and then you look at the Chargers, who are the 6th seed,
Right.
who had to win 5 games to get in.
Right.
All right. My question would be, all right, 14-2, all right. 14-2, somewhere around on your 12th or 13th week of the season, you're already looking at yourself like, we're in the playoffs.
Right. So you relax a
Are
little.
you relaxing?
Yep.
Are you slacking off?
Yep.
Are you not? As one that was trying to work to get in there, you're working out. You're watching. I don't know. Just correct me if I'm wrong. You're watching your weight. You're watching what you eat. You're watching what you drink. You're getting your rest. You're working out extra hard. You want to make the playoffs. You're trying to be in better shape individually to be part of a great team to get into the playoffs.
So you're saying they're slacked off a little bit.
Yes, that's exactly.
See, and I don't mean.
And does when you hit the playoffs, does that? I mean,
That's not many.
physical conditioning.
Right, no. And
Mentally,
you know what?
you're
And what
in,
we were
right?
trying to, I mean, I think what we're trying to get to is the point we're trying to make is I think this team feels different than the 14-2 team. I think
Yes.
I think the team feels different than the 07, 13-3 team when we went to Indy and beat them. I think this team has a weird feel to it, but it's a good feel because, like we said, it's a new regime. It's not Norv Turner. It's not the same old fucking song. This ain't the same fucking song. This is a different tune that the Charger fans haven't been accustomed to for 3 years. Why? Because we haven't been in the playoffs, right? So now it's time to get in playoff mode again this weekend after beating the freaking NFC North champions. You just went on the road to their house, in their weather and their rain, and beat their ass. What does that tell you? This team's headed in the right direction, regardless if we win or lose Sunday. But for Charger fans, they're reuniting. Everybody's happy. You see flags. It's craziness. It's as if it's 06 again, but there's a different feeling.
And
You know what I'm saying?
and the Raider hater makes a good point. This team
Raider haters in the chat room.
This team is like a family. And that's what I liked when McCoy and Telesco came in. They got rid of the garbage. They got rid of the me guys. They got rid of the guys that are hanging on by a thread, and they brought in some new influence. The Danny Woodheads, Melvin Ingram's back now. Jarrett Johnson's here now. These guys want to win. They come from winners. Danny Woodhead came from the Patriots, a championship team. The bad habits, exactly, Brian. The other thing is, Jarrett Johnson came from Baltimore, and Baltimore, for the most part, over the last few years, has been
Championship
a winning
quality.
championship organization. And they brought these guys in and influenced our team to play in that manner.
You bring in quality players that are not selfless like Sean Phillips. Sean Phillips is a great player. We all know that. But he's a douchebag off the field. He's an idiot.
Is he?
Yes. Oh, no, I haven't met him either. He gets in trouble all the time.
That's his perception. Let's just say that.
He's known.
I didn't like it when he was playing for the Chargers.
Hey, he's just known for partying the day before a game.
Hey, I just want to let you know that on the Chargers-Denver game, he only got to do that once. That whole bowling thing, right?
And that was at the very end of the
he
game.
only did it once, and I'm like, yeah, screw you.
Yeah, you know what though?
He only did that once.
Whatever.
I'm like, yeah,
Fuck
whatever.
Sean Phillips. He's gonna get his head knocked off this weekend. It don't matter. But you know what? He was a good player. I'm not ever saying he wasn't. I loved him as a player. But as a person, he wasn't committed to the football team. He's partying before games. It was when Sean Merriman was here too. It was a total lack of discipline when Norv was here. Yeah, we all like Merriman, right? But this whole new regime is they've all brought a new attitude to this football team. That's why they're in the postseason. This team has changed. You have a franchise quarterback at your disposal. Mike McCoy didn't take over some team that's going to draft the first pick in the draft and go get a rookie quarterback and have to develop him. Phillip Rivers is a well-established quarterback, is he not?
He is.
He is. He's been to Pro Bowls. He's just had some down years and a bad offense because of Norv Turner. And if you notice a difference this year, it's how fast Phillip gets rid of the football. It's a 1-2-3 step, and it's gone. It's not a 7-step drop going to Vincent Jackson. Yeah, exactly. It helps the O-line out because they're not very strong at times. He'll be in there. He'll man up. Clary was questionable. He'll man up too. I promise you guys. I mean, Hardwick will.
The biggest difference, and what I think the biggest key of this Denver game is the fire and intensity of our defense is playing with right now. Kendall Reyes, Melvin Ingram, Jarrett Johnson,
Cam Newton.
Weddle.
Just kidding.
Trying to throw me a curveball
Cam
here.
Thomas. I was trying to see if you got that.
Our defense has attitude right now, and that attitude can what?
What's the word?
Can get us to that next level.
There you go.
Because that's one thing that we've lacked
Change this
all
whole
year,
sentence around. I like that.
is that
Catapult.
our defense can now catapult us, yes,
Isn't that
to
like
the
a
next
hand
level. Because our offense has really carried this team all year.
But look at the offense. We lost Nario Alexander. We lost Malcolm Floyd.
Yes, sir.
Now look at Keenan Allen.
Look at what
and
they've
look at
been
Eddie
through.
Royal.
Yes.
But Keenan Allen has been on point on most of it.
No, you're right. And look where this
And
team,
he's a rookie.
and look under the leadership with injury.
And Rivers is throwing to so many different players. Right now, everyone's like maybe double teaming Gates. But look at Ladarius Green.
Dude, my boy, 89.
Look at that.
Looking
You
fine.
know what?
He's
As
the next tight end in line besides Gates.
Check this out.
Gates.
Yes, sir.
As I listen to you guys and I hear these names, and I really don't reflect too much on names, you know who's doing this, who's doing what, right? As an old Air Force sergeant, I look at a team as a whole.
Discipline.
Right? Bingo. That's where I was going to go with
You're
you.
going to go Air Force?
All right, I go.
discipline all the
It's
time.
all about discipline, and discipline is something that your leadership has to introduce, enforce, and bestow on you, and everybody does that.
They have to buy in.
Everybody does it in a different way.
And they have to buy
Some
in,
do
right?
it forcibly. Some do it like Norv Turner. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's the coordinators.
Oh, yeah, long enough
And
for
there's
that stuff.
other people that know how to bring and I'm gonna go. Don't get mad at me if I go old school. Other people bring what I like to call the Mary Poppins theory, right? If anybody ever watched Mary Poppins, and I use this here for
Chick with the umbrella, right?
Yeah. Before she sang Spoonful of Sugar, this is what the sergeant looked like. She said, for every job you undertake, there's an element of fun. Find the fun, the job's a game, right? So you can dispense and teach people discipline and also add a segment of fun so that what you're doing in your job and the discipline to do your job is fun, provided that the leadership you have knows how to implement.
Is adequate, yes.
And is there. And that's what we finally have now.
Right.
The guys are having fun. They're disciplined.
Mike
and
McCoy.
you have a leadership now.
Mike McCoy.
But here's the thing.
Not North Turner.
Here's the thing. You have great players there. You have great players. And North Turner, yes, for what he has, for what his character has, for what his might serve somewhere else in a different group of people. It didn't serve with what we have.
Right.
Mike McCoy does.
Right.
He's brought discipline. He's brought fun. All right.
Fun. You see them having fun.
He's brought.
crazy.
Maybe it's shaking
You know,
this
there's-
year with Mike McCoy.
All of us work,
But now
and
it's-
all of
it
us
gets
work,
sick.
and all of us have had bosses, and we've had bosses that tell you, do your damn job, and you have a miserable day.
Yeah.
And you've had other bosses tell you, do your job, and you have a great day. Right? We are in a different realm here, gentlemen, where we have great management that know how to incorporate discipline with fun, and the most important thing is this management group that we have here knows how to read the personalities of our players, the Rivers, the Matthews, the Whittle. They know how to read it. They know how to guide them. They know how to imply and
You know what-
put
you know what I take away from
have
this?
fun.
And I agree with
when
you.
I listen to you guys, I'm like, you know what? I hear all these names, and I go, you know what? The names don't matter because it is a team, right?
You're
It is a
exactly
team.
right.
It is a team, and the teams are just the. You know, it doesn't. If you were ever a supervisor in Air Force, whatever, wherever you travel, if you're ever a supervisor, the personalities are always the same, right? The situations are always the same. The faces change and the names change, but you always have the do-doers. You always have them.
They don't change.
But you as a supervisor, or you as a coach, or you as a manager, you have to get in there and learn these personalities and learn how to mesh them and put them together.
Right.
And yes, you can walk into a situation where you have all these guys and you're like, I can't put these guys together. This is not my cup of tea. North Turner. But then you get McCoy and he goes, hey, this is my cup of tea. I can deal with this, you know?
Yeah.
And so the names, yes, you know, the names, the stats, individual stuff. But the overall thing is one goal. A Super Bowl ring has
win.
It's win, right?
It's win, right?
Let's do it.
And you know, and the
Thank
guy.
you guys for having me. This is
No, sorry, you're more than welcome, dude. Man, whoa. Hey, what up, bro? How you doing, man? What's your name? Smitty, man. Smitty?
hey, Smitty, how you
Smitty's
doing?
here. Say what up to the guys.
What's happening? We taking them down, baby.
Sir.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what we're seeing in the chat room? We got Raider Hater in here. He's got a great name, Raider Hater. He sees the culture change too, and I think everybody can agree with on how things have gone with the new coach and the GM from being personable, meaning reaching out to fans, being at every game, shaking players' hands after victories. You never saw that with AJ Smith. You never saw that with North Turner.
That's the other boss.
Never. There's a culture change here, and we
I
don't.
hired you for that.
You've seen the culture change from day one when Mike McCoy got started. From day one, right? Am I wrong?
No, that's a great
Yeah,
job.
and
Bolo!
but they reached out more to the fans as of late, and it's been exciting to see. We were so cooped up with AJ Smith as a GM. Oh, Mr. Hard-Nosed guy. Like, who wants to talk to a guy like that?
You guys
Mr. North Turner.
You guys really put it in a good sense. culture change. You change the culture.
And look what's happening. They're winning football games. And, I mean, yeah, they squeak by. It doesn't matter. They're in the playoffs, so we're going, okay, this culture change is really working, right?
Right.
Right. I mean, if you had to pick between getting rid of Norv and shooting yourself in the head, what would you pick?
I might miss. Depending on my beer. I don't know.
Right?
I go with Norv.
I don't know if I could take it another year in Norv. I really don't.
But and I think that's not only what this team needed, but I think that's what this town and what this city needed. It needed a culture change. It needed somebody that wanted to implement a system that's going to put a winner on the field each and every game, each and every year.
Charger fans are emotional guys, alright? We don't need a coach that just looks and smiles like North did. There's no emotion. I tried to find some. I had to shot him with a BB gun back there.
What were you talking about? Oh, we were talking about earlier, like changing teams and stuff, and earlier I was talking about the names, Dario, Alexander, being there, and McAvoy getting injured, and I was talking about Keenan Allen coming in there. Looks like we switched the teams up, and we played as a team no matter with what we got. Like Keenan Allen, he stepped up, and he gave that momentum with other players too. So you see that we are playing as a team. Yes, like you're saying, the name doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. Even though we lost big names like Dario Alexander, Malcolm Floyd, they got hurt. LB was out for a while, but
Next man up.
You know what?
next man up in town.
My thing is the name. Okay, I understand the name, all right. But you got a team, all right, and you got people. If I was once again,
Sarge, I don't mean to interrupt you. If there's a prime example of a new culture change, okay, listen to this. Tom Telesco, the new GM, goes out and signs Derek Cox, right, from Jacksonville, for a big number. 4 years, $20 million, $5 million per year as a cornerback. If you remember him in the beginning of the year, he was getting burned by every wide receiver in the league. Do you not remember that?
Yeah.
Remember Derek Cox out there, number 22? He was supposed to be a big free agent get. We paid him a lot of money. You know where he sits now? On the bench. This tells you that if you don't do your fucking job, if you don't do your job as a Charger.
Well, it dates back to Ryan Leaf.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
But I'm saying this new regime is taking on such an impact. They went out and signed a guy for $20 million, and they're not even letting him get on the field right now. That's how bad he is. I mean, they obviously know they made a mistake in signing this guy.
It's like a Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't think he's that bad, but damn, dude, when you're to that point where you're making $5 million per, and you're a corner in this league, and you're supposed to be a big free agent for the Chargers, covering wide receivers, top flight wide receivers, and he got burned out all year long, and they're benching him. That tells you something about the new regime right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? This whole new thing, Nook Customs, it's a new mentality in Charger football, and that's what I'm very, very
It's
excited
a new job, you get paid a lot. Do it.
Exactly. Yep.
You mentioned something like that, and I think back in the old days when you really had 11 helmets and they hardly didn't get paid shit, right? They played for pride.
Right.
They played for the love of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's some players that now will sit down and say, fuck you, I'm not doing anything. Let me collect my check and you can release me in 3 years, right? And they will pander the team, regardless of their impact on fans, ticket sales, or anything like that. Right. You know, when you talk about the culture change, the culture has changed in a lot of areas. Yeah. That's a culture
and Josh,
change.
I was telling him about how Tom Telesco, Tommy T, as we call him here in San Diego. Tom Terrific, as I call him. He's a freaking wonder worker. I told him about Derek Cox, and we all thought Derek Cox was going to be this big time free agent, and he struggled this year extremely. And for them to bench him, ultimately. They gave him multiple opportunities. They gave him probably 3 or 4 games too long because of all the money they're paying him. But to ultimately bench him, I haven't seen Derek Cox in the field.
I haven't seen him on the field at
What
all.
does that tell you about the new regime? That they mean business. You don't do your
If
job.
you don't perform, you're not going to play.
Exactly.
That's how it is. Like, how do you get paid? How do you want more money?
And what does that tell you? It's
How do you want more money? How do you want to get that raise? You do your job better.
right.
Or you do your job
But
first time.
But now there's accountability on the team. They're going to hold you accountable for what you're doing wrong. With Norv Turner and AJ Smith, there was none of that.
It's just like with
None of it. None.
Zero.
No accountability.
Oh, he must be having a bad day.
He must be having a bad day.
Sarge.
Oh, no, I gotta get a refill.
All right. Hurry back.
We'll keep your seat warm.
What it comes down to is next man up. And as long as they keep that mentality, as long as they keep that fire in the belly, this team can do anything.
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, heading into the playoffs, man. And you know, last week I wasn't too hot on the Chargers. I mean, I'm a diehard, and I'm going, well, Cincinnati's pretty damn good too. And I'm looking at their record, and I'm looking at the teams they beat, and the way we beat them with physicality, it was like we own the fucking building, and we got after them.
Well, and if you remember, Norv or no Norv, when he started coaching this team, we were a team of adjustments. You remember, we always came out in the second half
And played well.
and made the adjustments and blew teams away. And whether that's a culture change, whether that's a coaching thing, that happened against Cincinnati.
It's a perfect example of scheme.
Yes.
Scheme, offensive coordinator scheme, because Ken Wisenhunt comes in here and goes, we don't have an offensive line.
Right.
We don't have an offensive line. So what does that tell you? Ken Wisenhunt has to go to a shorter passing game, something that's going to pick up yardage while progressing down the field, right? So you're going to make sure that a 2 to 3 yard pass is going to make sure on a second down, that third down is manageable for you. All year long, we've seen run, and then third down execution because Phillip Rivers is so good at getting the ball out.
Right.
And it's always been third and short, third and 4, third and 3. We've seen nothing more than that.
And the biggest question going into the Denver game is the first time we played them, we knew, or at least we suspected, it was going to be a shootout.
Right.
It was Phillip Rivers against Peyton Manning. It was Phillip Rivers against Peyton Manning, and we struggled in the red zone. We had to settle for 2 field goals in that game. Then we play Denver in Denver, and we change our philosophy to keeping Manning off the field and running the ball. So going into this playoff matchup, the coaches have a challenge because you've already played them twice. You tried one thing, it didn't work. You tried something else that worked. Well, Denver is going to try to counter that. So what do they do next?
Well, when you play a division rival that many times, Josh, we know that. But you can't be more familiar with the team right now. I mean, when we sit there and go, well, what are they going to do different? There's not much more you can because they've studied the Broncos so much this year that personnel's the same. Personnel's always going to stay the same. John Fox's scheme's going to stay the same in Denver. The only thing you can do is throw wrinkles into your schemes. John Pagano's going to have to come after him with a new look and try to change it up for Peyton. Peyton Manning's one of the smartest football players in football. We know that.
He's Mr. Audible.
Oh, he's good. He sees a coverage and it's over. He's going to beat you. But John Pagano's had so much success against this guy that I feel like, you know what, we can do it again. We can send the same kind of blitzes we did the last game, but just throw in some wrinkles here and there. That's it.
So going into this game, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there could be and probably will be situations where it's going to be 4th and short.
Right.
Do you be the aggressor, knowing that
I think you
you
do.
win and go home, or you win and go on, you lose and you go home? So do you be aggressive, or do you try to pin them back deep and let them really work for their points?
And on the road in the playoffs, when nobody gives you a chance, and we're almost 10-point dogs in Vegas, I think you go for it. You know, I really do. It's 4th and inches. It's 4th and whatnot. You go for that fucking shit. You don't put anything. You don't put anything in jeopardy. I mean, you want to get this win. I mean, if we're heading in their territory and it's on the 35-40, Josh, I mean, would you give the signal to go for it? Heading in? Yeah. Going on there.
Where are we at? Give me a scenario. Give me a scenario.
We're going into our own end zone.
Okay.
We're in their territory.
All right.
35-yard line, and we got a 4th and short. 4th and 1. I need LaRon McClain to open up a hole for me on that right side with DJ Fluke. I need something. Do you trust your boys on the road in a playoff game? I do.
I think you have to trust your boys.
Early in the game. I'm talking first quarter.
I think you have to trust your boys, and this could turn into a shootout. This game, it's been suspected in the first 2 games that this was going to be a shootout.
Right.
I think more importantly in the playoffs, touchdowns matter that much more.
Right.
Settling for field goals isn't going to cut it. Not only in the playoffs, but we're playing a team, as good as the Chargers have been playing, we got to remember this is a team that broke an NFL record for points scored. So touchdowns are going to mean 10 times more than it did in the regular season because it's win or go home.
Yeah, it's definitely that. And I know you agree. I can't see them not going for a 4th and 1 or a 4th and inches on a crucial drive where Mike McCoy goes, yeah, let's punt. I don't think that's the mentality of the Chargers this year. I think it's been you kind of lucked in. We're happy to be here. We just knocked off the Bengals. Let's get a win in Denver and send those fans, home very, very pissed off. So, right. Yep, man.
They want to step up the game and just play. I tell you, look the way he's been playing lately. And when Melvin Ingram came back, look the way he's been playing.
Amazing.
It's like
getting after the quarterback, making interceptions, doing the little things that we've lacked in the pass rush. No, I agree with you, man.
And what are we out there just to
lead them?
Tell them.
Yes.
Say, hey,
put them in the right position.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that's the key to this whole second half. I think our guys have gone out there with a mentality. It's been a mindset, really.
And when they have that momentum, they're going to go with that momentum and just do it.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you.
Look at what's Cincinnati. How many times did we pick Andy Dalton? How many times did we pick Andy Dalton?
Well, because the pressures were weird. They couldn't handle the blitz packages. They just couldn't get it done,
The difference...
And when that momentum defense.
Right. And the difference between Andy Dalton and Peyton Manning is like toilet paper and a fully constructed wall. I mean, Andy Dalton is horse crap,
and AJ Green.
Peyton Manning is a proven winner. So the difference is Peyton Manning's intelligent. He's going to get rid of that ball quick. So our front 7 has to dodominate the Broncos' offensive line.
They have to do what they did against Cincinnati.
If they put Peyton Manning under pressure,
yeah, they have to do what they did against Cincinnati. We got Manti Te'o back. That's a good sign. He's right there. You know what I'm saying, though? I mean, if this front 7 can get after Peyton like we did Andy Dalton, and let's not kid ourselves here, the Broncos' defense isn't that good. You know how many times the last game we played them that Ryan Matthews got to the edge and scored and got big plays?
This whole year is all about the
Chargers got the information.
because
Right. And that's the thing, you look at the whole game plan going in, you go, well, we just got to be aggressive here.
Yeah.
We do. And it's like, your backs are against the wall, you're against the world. It's one of those things you have to be you have to take the initiative to win the football game. And don't go, well, we should have gone for it. Don't ever second guess. Just fucking go.
You have to be aggressive, just like Melvin Ingram. So going back to that Cincinnati game, there was that play where Butler and Ingram were right behind the line. And you saw Butler tell Ingram to go to the outside. So he jumped to the outside, jumped the route, and made the play. And the biggest thing is we have to play like there's no tomorrow. We have to be aggressive. We have to create turnovers. We have to be opportunistic.
Exactly. On the turnovers, Joshua. High five. Don't leave him hanging. Yeah, he's leaving me hanging. My partner's leaving me hanging. On the opportunities to get a pick or fumble, whatever. These are the plays that have to be made in the playoffs. We all know that. It's the last, dude. Well, when Butler made that fumble happen last week, going in for Giovanni Bernard, I was sigh of relief, man. It held him to a field goal. It really swung momentum back to the Chargers because they felt good about themselves. And going into half, they're down 10-7. So for me, I'm like, oh, this is a win, dude. They didn't get the touchdown, so it was fun, man. I think going into the Denver game, you know, we're 10-point dogs in Vegas. We're about 10-point dogs in Vegas. I think your backs are against the wall again. I think they're going to have that mentality. So it'll be fun. What's up, Cisco? You want to talk a little bit, or are you going to be...
I'm good. Looks like you guys got it all handled.
Oh, you're fine, man. You got Weddle's beard on? What's going on?
Come on down. Grab yourself a shirt. $20. We got plenty of them here, so come on down.
Promote it, man.
We got some Charger shirts going down here at Cali Comfort in Spring Valley. They are some legit stuff right here. If you like Weddle's beard, you need to be down here and picking up a shirt. We got extra large, medium, whatever size you are, we got it down here. Francisco, get over here. Francisco, going into the Broncos game, okay, what is your 3 top things that need to happen in order for the Chargers to get a victory?
Keep Peyton off the field, keep Peyton off the field, and keep Peyton off the field. That's the only thing that's going to make us win. Just like the same way we controlled the first game, run the ball, control the clock. Peyton Manning is Peyton Manning. He's going to make a play. He's going to make a few plays. He's got all the weapons all around him. We just got to limit him, and the way we do that is keeping him off the field.
So, keeping him off the field is one thing, okay? Like we said, this is the 3rd time that we're facing Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. Something's got to change. Somebody's going to win. It's a rubber match. So what's the biggest thing in your mind that has to happen that can sway the Chargers' way? Aside from getting to Peyton Manning, we know that has to happen.
The thing needs to put Peyton Manning under pressure on that with the offense on the Chargers. Take the time out the clock. Don't let Peyton Manning on the field that much. That's just what it is.
Gotta have it. Yeah. And we did that in the second game.
Yep. We gotta keep up with Peyton Manning. He's constantly thinking of a way to beat you. We gotta be able to stay a step ahead of him. You gotta always know. You almost can't go in there with a game plan. Because he will change it up. And you gotta be able to adjust to it.
You gotta confuse him, and like John Pagano did in the last game.
Exactly.
He mixed coverages, and it was really nice to see because John Pagano goes, you know what? I know he knows what I'm gonna do. Well, you know what? I'm gonna throw some wrinkles in there. And he did. And Thomas Kaiser takes him off. You get a couple interceptions. I mean, it was awesome. The way we went in there on a Thursday night when everybody thought we were going to get our ass kicked. We went in there and beat them, right?
Just like this weekend. Yeah. Just like people think this weekend.
Well, now you have a healthy Melvin Ingram at his potential, right? And now you have guys that believe. You got to believe in the locker room. I think Mike McCoy's done a great job of getting his players to believe in what they're trying to do. You know? So it's a mindset to go on the road in the playoffs and get it done. So for me, it's get it done now and make sure things happen. I mean, just make plays, get after the quarterback, and that's what it's going to be about.
Absolutely.
We're going to get back into some playoff football. Joshua. Now we got a fan over here, Josh Collins. He's standing right next to me. I'd like to get a final score from you for Sunday game, a prediction, if you will. Joshua Collins is going to predict the Charger Bronco playoff game. We're doing an on-site location at Cali Comfort Barbecue. Come on down, get a Weddle t-shirt, Weddle's beard t-shirt. It's kind of cool. Having some beers, hanging out with Charger fans, and that's what it's about. Joshua, what do you think the final score will be Sunday?
Expect at least 3 touchdowns out of Manning, 21, a couple field goals. I'm going to go with a 30-27 Chargers.
That's what I like to hear. 30-27. That's his final score. He predicts 30-27 Charger victory. That's going to squeak it out. I think it might be a field goal as well. Got another Charger fan over here that just bought a Weddle's beard shirt. He's looking freaking handsome. Look at this guy. What's your final score, brother?
Score? Yes, sir. Well, I'm not going to say 9 because last time they asked me in a few Charger games, they asked me what's the score. I said, no, I'm not going to say 9. We've been winning.
Come on, give us something. Give us something.
Hey, you got to believe, dude.
It's going to be a close game.
Because you predict something.
It's not going to be a 45-44 cold case.
Okay, I would say maybe 21-24 Chargers. Field goal.
That's a good spot. Hey, Raider Hater, if you're still in the chat room, give us a score here, okay? Joshua, you already gave your score on Wednesday's show, but tell everybody again what you're thinking.
For the Chargers' sake, I have us at 31-20, and I think it's because our defense steps up and holds Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos to some field goals. So
Third down stops, eh?
third down stops are key. We got Bolt Pride starting to sneak over here.
Yes, sir. Red zone D has to be key. I think if you're gonna play, I think you're gonna go in there and play Charger football. You have to do what you did against Cincinnati. You really have to put them in the.
They had some scary drives. Since he had some scary drives,
Oh, yeah.
they were gonna they're gonna get another 7 points, and all of a sudden, what do we got? We got a couple fumbles here and there. We got some takeaways, and we drove back. Some of them were 3 and outs, but we still did our duty, and we made the stops in the red zone. Whether points came from it or not, we still got the ball away from them.
Yes, I agree with you.
Stopped them from scoring.
Oh, and that's the mentality you have to take into this Sunday's game. I mean, if you don't go in there like you did against Cincinnati, you're kidding yourself, because Peyton Manning will dissect you if you're showing coverages that are familiar with him. Like John Pagano knows, he knows how to mix things up. He's had a really rough record against John Pagano, and we know that. But playing him twice in 1 year, he's really going to have to throw some wrinkles in there to really confuse Peyton, and it's hard to do that. But you really got to get that front 7 working and get that pass rush. And if we don't do that, I think it might be a long day for the Chargers, but hopefully they do what they did to Andy Dalton. We'll get it done.
So we got Bolt's Pride in the house. This is a show for fans.
By the fans.
Hey, hey, hey. And this is nothing but a fan's perspective. So I want to hear your perspective. Mark from Bolt Pride. I want to hear your perspective on this week's matchup.
Here's my thing. I swear I haven't seen Peyton Manning play real football against the Chargers ever since Sean Merriman lit him up for like 4 or 5 sacks out one game. He has never, all he sees is lightning bolts. That lightning bolts in his dreams. Ever since that day, and I think his brother probably saw that because he's useless against us too. Dude, McCoy, his coach for how many years before that, knows every tendency, knows what they got to do. Talk about advantage.
Yes,
I look just like at Gruden when he was with Tampa and the Raiders and all that stuff. Same exact thing. We still got to show up. We still got to play ball. But as long as we hold them, I really don't see their defense stopping us. I don't see their defense stopping anybody.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. I think the defense for them, I think the Chargers are kind of licking their chops. Phillip Rivers not scared of their defense by any means. No, Phillip's not going to go in there going, oh man, it's the Denver Broncos defense. I mean, Champ Bailey's back. Who gives a fuck? I call him Chump Bailey for a reason. He's a chump. He's slower than molasses. Now he could be Charles Woodson for all I care.
Well, he's going to retire after this year, probably.
They used to be good in their prime. They're not anymore.
Nobody. Not even their quarterback.
So if you go in there, I think Phillip goes in there with a mentality.
John Bailey was okay with Jay Cutler.
I think he goes in there with a mentality, and Phillip really plays fundamental football. Don't turn the ball over. Make those third downs and make that time of possession. And like the second match.
I hate to say this, but is it kind of weird how McCoy's kind of turned him into like T-ball ball. Little quick tosses, everything
No,
kind
it
of just
isn't.
nothing.
I don't think
No,
so.
we'll see some downfield, but most of it is time control, no mistakes, don't make any errors,
Yeah,
kind of
you're
just methodically just pick your way down the field when we got an opening.
Well,
It's kind of freaky, but trust me, Philip is not.
It's
Tim
working.
Tebow, don't get me wrong.
Perfect example, Cincinnati last week, down the sideline on the right side to Eddie Royal. What a perfectly thrown football. And we're looking around, I'm sure as you were, going, when's he going to air it out? Because remember in the first half, he's like 5 for 8. And we're like,
Run, put him to sleep, run, put him to sleep.
and like me and Josh talked about on our podcast on Wednesday, my thing is, they can run the football, and they're doing it effectively at 200 yards to the ground against Cincinnati, which is tough to do against that front line, which is unbelievable to me. Off anybody, right? So, but when Philip has to make a throw, he makes the fucking throw on the point. You know what I mean? So if you have to believe in your quarterback, make the call.
But you know what? He's been doing that for years. You know, last year without an O-line and stuff,
doesn't have to
everybody,
convince us.
you know, we already know.
But the media
Here.
goes,
And everybody. What's wrong with him? Nothing's wrong with him.
Ignore Turner's 7-step drop.
Exactly.
he got DJ Fluker in there, and that fixed everything.
That's
That guy is a
absolute
beast.
He is. Blowing up guys down 20 yards down the field and then getting up, jumping like a little kid, dude. And what I heard, I think it was, who was it? I can't remember who said in the locker room. He has all this stuff from Alabama, all his trophies, this and that. He's not used to losing.
Right.
You know, he come in with a one-winner mentality.
Right.
And he does not take losing kindly. And I can see that it rubs off even to all these new backup linemen. Dude, it's amazing what a virus, a winning virus that guy has brought in and what they have done this year. With, you know, truthfully, this must be kind of a rebuilding season for us. Dude, all these injuries, all these pieces come and fill it out, and everything's just looking golden. I mean, it's that winning mentality.
And that's what the
winning mentality.
right, and that's what the Chargers needed, because for the last few years we have struggled. Okay,
Lackadaisical.
we have struggled, and
No
Philip
accountability.
Philip Rivers loves nothing more to win. Eric Weddle loves nothing more to win. You bring in a Jarrett Johnson. You bring in DJ Fluker. You bring in Danny Woodhead from. They're used to the winning personality, and now it's ingrained in the rest of our team, and they're believing in it. And it's a great thing.
It's like they said, it starts from the top.
Hey, props to Dean. I mean,
Props to
he
Dean.
really clean out the people that he owed a lot of money to.
Yeah,
and
and
said, you know what? The hell with it. Fuck it.
Of course.
I mean, you know,
You're right.
it's run its course. Let's bring in some people from another winning organization and throw it all in there. Look at the 3 draft picks.
Hey, you know,
Everything is just.
they called Dean like, you know, he didn't want to do it because he's a people person. He hates getting rid of people. He does. It was hard to get rid of Bobby Ross, Bobby Bethel. We knew that, okay? All those things. But they had to be done. Charger fans were calling for their heads on a swivel.
Last year I went to the Tampa Bay game and sitting in the hotel late. All the players went to sleep and everything, and I'm sitting at the bar, and he comes down, him and his wife, and he says his wife, Dean.
Oh.
So he sits at the bar with me, order a couple whiskeys, and I was like, hey, Dean. I go, first of all, you gonna move this team? And he's like, dude, we're not going nowhere. He goes, this is my city. And I go, well, what's going on? He goes, look, man, it hurts me just as much as probably hurting everybody. My dad wants a ring. You know, our family's been looking for a ring for our city, all our people. You know, everybody wants a ring, and I've been trying so hard. You know, I can only do and spend so much money and just hope the pieces fall together.
Right.
And I could see it and hear it, man. I just sat there and
The passion and
just looking at all the bottles on the wall, just listening to him and just going,
you're
this guy
soaking it in.
cares, man.
Yeah, he
This
does.
guy really, really cares.
He does.
He has, you know, he's got no control over coaches and players and everything, but he's making the effort, spending the money. You know, we're not a big, you know, one of the big money-making
not a
teams.
big market,
But
no.
man, he's spending a lot of money, you know, for what we are, because he cares. To me, he cares. And man, it looks like hopefully he's put those pieces together this time.
Even like you said, like we were talking, it starts at the top. You got to get a guy in here that has a pedigree of winning, and we really do. You know, Tom Telesco's with the Peyton Manning era. He knows how to put together football teams. You're not going to just waste Peyton Manning's career. They won a Super Bowl. they won a Super Bowl. And that's what the ultimate goal is in football. I mean, you bring a guy in here with a Super Bowl ring that knows how to establish a team, right?
That's true.
And then Tom Telesco says, you know what, Mike McCoy is the right fit for my program. He took Peyton Manning last year all the way to the AFC title game. They lost because of their defense again.
But Telesco also listens to your coaches.
Yes.
Listens to the.
He's more personable.
Listens.
He's
Yeah,
personable.
at least you can have a conversation with him. Not like goddamn AJ.
He's a personable guy.
Just that was just a bitter old man.
Right.
I can't even explain
you couldn't
what
even
the
go
hell
to AJ to
was,
say anything.
man.
Yeah.
You know?
And as far as the Broncos game this weekend, Justin brings up a good point. If you look at the matchup, okay, both offenses are explosive. They have playmakers, both of them.
Lots of them.
Denver's lacking their defensive playmakers. Von Miller's out of the game. He is their heart and soul of the defense. And I know, like you were saying, one player doesn't make a difference.
No, it doesn't.
But in a way it does, because he's a leader.
Well,
And you take that leader away, can somebody else step up? And I think that's where the Chargers benefit in this game. I think they have a leader in Eric Weddle.
Donald Butler has become an absolute
And Jarrett Johnson.
monster.
He's a beast mode kind of player. And, you
Yeah,
know, Melvin's following in his footsteps. I mean, if you guys watch Te'o in his rookie season, I
that's
didn't mean to cut you off, Sarge. You know, but the linebacker core, I mean, remember the Chargers used to be predicated on linebackers. We did. When we had the Randall Godfrey, we had the Donnie Edwards. We're making plays in the middle of the field. And now it's so comforting to know that we have 4 solid linebackers that can be solid football players.
Support each other and a lot of communication
Yes,
out
sir.
there.
Right. And
Nobody's
they are.
out to do their own. Nobody's,
And you saw that against Cincinnati.
I love Sean Phillips, still, but he was kind of on his own, trying to make his money on his own,
Right. That's what
and
we were talking about
cancer.
earlier.
You get a small cancer in there.
He was a cancer.
It spreads. It is.
Right.
It is. It's much. He was a great player, but
Well,
AJ
you
was
just
the
don't want
cancer.
that. Oh, that was
AJ was
that
the
was
cancer.
the big.
They got rid of the whole cancer when they
virus, dude, right there.
There's something to said about the one guy, that does make a play. There is something to be said about the one person. We talk about team. There is, because sometimes, and then a star player goes out. It gives a chance to a secondary, second string, third string, right?
Right.
And never really given the chance.
Didn't that just happen all our preseason, the beginning of our season?
And then all of a sudden,
Where's our
all of a
Alexander?
sudden,
Where's
one special game, an individual you never thought had it, all of a sudden is in the right place at the right time.
Right.
Does the right play at the right time, and everybody's like, well, why didn't they use this? And so, yes, you're right. Those are the key parts of the game that, as much as you wanted to be able to forecast, to be able to put on the big board, that's the tangible that
But I'll tell you something.
That's what makes the game the game. Because someone could get into next player comes in and he could have the record of this and the record of that. But just for that particular time, just that particular game.
But you know what? Coaching helps that. That's why you have depth. That's why you have that. In case something like that happens to every team. But your coaching and the personnel is so important when that happens. In case you do lose Darius Alexander.
Right.
In case you do lose all these guys. We've got other pieces in depth that have, had the good coaching.
Keenan Allen.
Look at Vincent Brown. Man, everybody thought he was going to be our number one. He's a workhorse. He really is a workhorse, but he's such a magnet. Everybody thinks he's number one. Head over Keenan Allen's door right there.
I'm glad you brought that up, because Justin and I are huge Vincent Brown believers. Huge.
Cucamonga, baby.
When he went down in that Dallas game in the preseason last year,
That was gigantic.
That crushed me. And I'm like, he was going to be the playmaker aside from Malcolm Floyd, right? So he comes into this season and we're thinking, he's going to be the man. But he hasn't. And why is that? Is that because defense are scheming against him? Or is that because our philosophy on offense has changed and we're not the 7-step drop, 5-step drop, throw it down the field? We're more of the 2-3 step drop, less than 2 seconds, get it out of the hand, and catch and run.
The Eddie Royal type of football.
Right.
Short burst, quick cut. Vincent Brown was a little bit more of a sprinter down the field and making hard cuts down the field, but, you know, this shorter game is this quicker burst. I mean, that's right. Keenan Allen's game too. You know, Vincent, he's gonna be there. He makes every clutch catch. That's just what he does.
And I know he told you we were big Vincent supporters this season. You know, and I've been away from the mic a minute, but no, out of San Diego State, we're going, okay, this guy has so much potential. When he broke his ankle last year, I'm like, oh, dude, in the preseason, catching a touchdown, even, you know, you go, why? And the guy's making. Obviously, the scheme changed for him not to be in the lineup because, like we were talking about, Mike McCoy doesn't put people in there that's not adequate for the formations. Not to mean he doesn't have skill or he can't play. I think that the new offensive coordinator, Ken Wisenhunt, goes, well, he's not going to be used as much as we thought he might be because he's not delivering, and even on the field he wasn't delivering. There was miscommunications against Philly. There's a lot of games where Phillips going, where were you, dude? That was an off route, and the coverage was. He's having trouble reading coverage.
You know what? That's been happening with all the receivers this year.
It has.
Every game.
And
you know, everyone's all young. Everyone's young, and
right.
it's a learning. This is a great ride we're on right now.
It is. Let's enjoy it.
I think next year, even
enjoy it.
when all the weapons come back healthy. I mean, right now we're riding this. We can go all the way, but oh my God, AFC West, NFL, look out! Man.
Right?
We are coming up. We are loaded, and we're not even healthy.
That's the beautiful thing. It's inspiring our second and third string.
Right.
You have inspiration just by what our first string is doing, and then it inspires your second and third string. So,
and our first string is our second and third string.
To think that
That's the incredible part of it.
you can bring your second and third string and not even miss a beat.
That's what I was saying
That's
earlier.
like-
Personnel decisions.
Well, no, like Derek Cox comes in as a free agent acquisition, right? And this is why the regime has changed because they brought him in for 4 years, $20 million, $5 million per, right? So we're all high on Derek Cox, thinking he's going to be a solid corner. Solid, nothing crazy. Upgrade. This guy sucks ass, okay? Sorry. So Tom Telesco and Mike McCoy go, we've got to bench him. They gave him 4 games too long, and now he sits on the sideline. He contributes in special teams sometimes. That's it. That's all your role is. You're making too much money to be on special teams. We're probably going to have to get rid of you soon. So they're going to have to cut their ties probably in the offseason. He's terrible. He is terrible.
That's a great cut, though. That's a great cut.
And why has that changed? Because there's a new regime. It's accountability.
That's my point about the name. You know, so much is focused on the name. This guy's supposed to do that. You got someone sitting on, second, third string.
Right.
No name. You got name, no name. But it doesn't matter when the final goal is to win the game. And so
if you're not doing your job,
get the hell out
if you're not doing the job,
well, the next time,
you know where else
do
we're
it
blessed
as a
at?
team.
You know where else we're blessed at? Is having Ronnie Brown.
yes.
Oh my God!
This is a 2005 second overall pick. Second overall pick. And had to share. Had 3 years sharing the ball with Ricky Williams.
Right.
Dude, that guy's still fresh. 2005 second overall pick. Dude, every time Matthews go down, I love Ryan Matthews. He's a beast.
He had to play with Ricky Williams in Miami, huh?
And he should. That kid is still young. It's still fresh. And you watch everything he does. Great blocker, great pass catcher, reads holes, finds holes. And now we're so blessed to have really 2 number 1 running backs.
Amazing.
Let alone Woodhead.
Well, Woodhead, but I'm saying like.
But that's
But this is what I'm going to ask you, and this is the question I present to Charger fans. Okay, so we know we have a busted up Ryan Matthews going into this ball game. We do. He didn't even dude. He was like a quarter and done in Cincinnati, right? So, and we haven't used him as the bulk of the carries. We mixed in running backs, done a good job of that. So for me, do we lose something if Ryan Matthews doesn't put on the pads this weekend?
We still have a number 1.
I know, but
We still have a number 1.
do we have what it takes to get it done with that running game? We have to run the football against Denver.
Here's my opinion, okay? So, yes, Ryan Matthews has gone down. yes, Ryan Matthews is our starting running back. But the benefit, like you said, as far as the depth goes, Ronnie Brown coming in is fresh. He's extremely fresh. And you saw it. I mean, granted, Cincinnati was a little broken down at the time, but he blew through that defense. And that fresh legs is gonna be that fresh legs is gonna be a improvement in the game against Denver.
Yeah. And you know what? There's not many tapes that Denver can look on Brown and how much he runs because he hasn't run. So you can't really study him. You know, so fresh legs. You don't know what he's doing. Right?
Hey man, that's all schemed out. That's all schemed out. And that's another coaching and another depth thing that we have.
Right. And going into the season, one thing that we, as fans, I believe we're concerned with is the depth. We were concerned that, especially in the trenches.
Our first preseason games and our first 2 games, our depth went away, especially wide receiver. We lost everybody.
Right.
You know, and that was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, the first game, oh shit. You know, what are we going to do for wide receiver?
Right.
Preseason, you know.
Yeah, no,
And it was just.
and we talked about this earlier. It was one of those things. It was one of those things where it doesn't feel like the 14-2 team in 06. It doesn't feel like the 13-3 team in 07. It feels greater than that because these guys have come together so much and bonded. And there's a new era in Charger football to where it makes you prideful. And regardless if they win or lose this Sunday, exactly. You have some pride in.
You know what? Those last 3 years, though, makes us appreciate this
It hurt.
so much
It hurt
more.
a lot.
Oh, dude, it's embarrassing.
It hurt.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing and it hurt.
It's embarrassing what AJ did, you know, all the way back to the LT and all that shit. And he chopped it at our hearts, all of our hearts.
yeah.
You know, the last 4 years.
Buster Davis. Larry English. I mean, come on, man.
Buster who?
Larry English should have been a 7th-round pick.
I'm sorry, who?
Larry English is not a first-round pick. Regardless,
LSU,
he contributed a little bit. Remember Craig Buster Davis? He was a bust. I'm just telling you. I mean, this whole thing has changed, and we know that. Yeah,
We appreciate this
we
now
do because we're Charger fans. You know, and
we
we've
saw
been
how
through the
bad it
bullshit. God, we won a Super Bowl more than any team in this league, dude.
How long?
And fuck Cincinnati for not winning a home game ever and haven't won since '81. I don't care. I don't feel your pain.
I went to both Bills in
Throw that
games.
Throw that out the window. Anything can happen, man. It's just.
But you know what I'm saying? All they kept talking about was the 81. Since '81, they're in a playoff drought. Who cares? But Charger fans, Padre fans, we've been through so much bullshit in our freaking history. Yeah. Who gives a shit about you? We haven't won shit either.
I missed the goals.
Yes.
That's our winning team.
Shit, we won the 61 AFL title. We beat the Boston Patriots 51-10. What does that tell you? How long ago was that?
We got a ring. That shit don't count, man. I want a
it
real
doesn't.
ring.
Right?
I want a real ring.
And you know another big factor on our team, and rookie or not, Keenan Allen is a stud.
There's rookie of the year.
Keenan Allen is a stud.
I might be biased or whatever, but it's got.
Bolo time.
Oh, look at that.
We got a bolo. What's your real name?
My name is Brian.
I already met you earlier, but I forgot. Brian.
Yeah, I have a name. Brian.
That's a beauty with the lightning bolt on it.
Oh my goodness. Hey,
Yeah, I made it myself.
hashtag Bolo.
Say again?
Hashtag Bolo.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Brian,
Yes.
I need your final score this weekend.
Oh, man.
We're going to wrap up this show in a few minutes.
Man,
I
look
want
at
to
those
get everybody.
You got
You
got the snakeskin boots too.
Oh, no.
You know how he did it?
I feel like I'm on the set of NFL Network. What's going on?
I thought I heard a rattle. That's why I looked down. What the hell?
Where the hell is that rattler? Yes, sir.
Final score?
Can we get a final score there, Brian?
I say by one us. By one meaning
No,
one
I
touchdown.
need a score.
Exactly.
I need a score. Give me. Don't be nervous. This is all live, but it's not really live.
That's all I don't be nervous on.
It's gonna be tight, man. It's gonna be tight. I don't care.
Even goes ass.
It's gonna be tight. It'll be tight.
It's gonna be real tight.
We'll be clenching our butthole real good.
Yeah.
Everybody.
We'll be drinking beer, clenching our butthole.
21-28. Us.
28. Okay.
I think we have enough time to do that because he's pretty quick, man. He's pretty quick. So he'll bounce back. But we'll control the clock so enough to get us back.
Hey, we got to counteract that. We got to
Every time
counteract
he
that.
blinks, so he sees that little lightning bolt, little sign, you know.
So, what's going to be your final? Well, I need Bolt Pride. I need a Bolt Pride representative to give me a final score.
Look, this thing is going to be absolute tight. Like I said, man, it's going to be. Throw all that quick stuff and stuff out the window.
Throw all the stats out the door. Give me a playoff score.
24-21.
Yes, sir.
24-21, man.
Bolt Pride on
No
this
back.
Charger.
Go back.
No back.
There you go. You're right.
No more. Are you kidding me? No more. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I like that.
There you
Hey,
go.
I'm just gonna give all my Charger fans out there. We went out to that game on Thursday night, and I'll tell you something.
Denver, Colorado.
This Denver Horse Nation or whatever they call themselves.
Donkey
I'm telling you,
Donkey Donk.
I completely changed my eyes to my Raider fans. I thought they were the worst on earth, but these Denver fans were horrible. The sorest losers I've ever seen, spitting on us, everything. It was horrible
You had
getting
your
out of
whole
there.
Bull Bike crew.
There was a few of us, and try to be cool, laugh, not get too bad, but once they start pulling on you, spitting on you,
Hey, that sounds eerily familiar to a Raider game, and we don't appreciate that out here. We're not going to talk shit out of here. We're going to be respectful to your team.
talk shit all you want.
But we're not gonna start fights with you, dude. You know what? Go home unhappy. Go home unhappy.
Dude, hey, kick you with their hooves and shit. Like, come on, guys.
What are you in the freaking Compton, California area?
Gus?
Knock it off.
Is Gus still alive?
Denver, Colorado.
Jesus. He did kick footballs, didn't he? That damn donkey.
Fucking
So, yeah, I got a feeling it's going to be great, but just like I
24,
said,
21.
you guys are out there, man, just head on a swivel after that victory.
Sorry.
What's that Raider hater? Look at that. 28, 21, 24, 21, 23, 22. And then I heard a guy 432 to 13.
That's an offensive show.
Yeah. 432 to 13.
All right, Josh. Give your prediction you gave on the show.
As I said before, Justin, I believe our defense is
I
gonna.
believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. Aztecs, baby.
Dude, they beat Kansas. That's telling you something. Anyway, we're Charger
But what I'm coming down to.
Where were they?
Oh, they were in the cellar, bro.
In Kansas.
Oh, yeah. They were.
How do you
Sean.
like apples?
In college.
We gotta get Sean over here.
He went to Cincy game, huh?
We want to get Sean in here. I want to hear something about the Cincy game. I want to hear something about the Cincy game.
This time of year.
Sean, get in here.
Sean, how much was your plane ticket to Cincinnati this time of year? I'm just kidding.
Hey, Sean.
How was the game experience?
First of all, your restaurant here, fantastic barbecue.
Cali.
I gotta spread the word. My first time here, Bolt Pride. I can't even. Sarge is busy eating still, but the barbecue is.
Hey, Cali Comfort Barbecue is where it's popping off. If you don't get down here, you're ridiculous for it. You're going to drink beers with Charger fans, Padre fans, Aztec fans. We're all San Diego, baby. If you don't get down here, you're fucking nuts. Get the fuck down here now.
You need more toothpicks.
Well, we built this bar as a San Diego sports bar. Number one, Lou Bush, who used to play for the Bolts. Rest in peace. He went to culinary school with my brother Thomas. My brother Tommy does all of our barbecue. We love the San Diego Chargers. We're out there every single Sunday. Season ticket holders for 10 years. And last week I took my beautiful wife out to the freezing cold in Cincinnati. We were.
It looked hard out there, but
when the Chargers are winning,
didn't matter.
It felt
feels
great.
like sunshine
Oh, it felt
and
great.
it really had to be like sleet on.
It was, watching a whole stadium. They acted the way that we acted when we were 14-2, when we were 13-3. They expected to win. They didn't give us a chance, and they choked. They choked. They played tight, and the Chargers, we played great football. We caused turnovers, which was amazing. 4 turnovers, I mean, that's amazing.
It's not so amazing against Andy, the Red Rocket Dalton, because his career record now is 0-3 in the playoffs, and he's got 1 touchdown and 97 picks. That's
true.
how you do that.
This is true.
Dude, we screwed with him so bad, it wasn't even funny.
You know,
Sharice Wright, take that back. What were you doing? Did you have a coat hanger? Because I did. I had a coat hanger, and you can hang your coat. But I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna break my TV right now.
It was, I mean, you know, for all the Charger fans, the diehards that made it out there, all the ones that wish that they could have been there. I mean, that was something that, you know, all those missed field goals, all those fumbles, all those interceptions, and then fumbles against the Patriots, all that stuff. That's what we as Chargers, it makes up for it. You know, that's when the sunshine comes out. That's when, even when it's raining, it feels fucking great.
In the playoffs, baby. Yeah. That's how you do it. You're a diehard going out there.
You know, he just mentioned field goal. We're sitting on the side when Suck Up missed that field goal. And I was sitting there going, my God, really? Another field goal scar on my body. That's all I could think is another field goal scar. How many of those stupid scars? And when he missed that, it felt like it took them all away. It's about time, really.
I turned around
and about time something went the Chargers' way.
You know, you do that prayer thing, your hands put in a prayer, you're looking, going, just one time, just one time.
And then want to say we're lucky.
And hockey leagues, all that.
Do you know
what about the hockey leagues? What about all those other things?
Last year, the 4th and 26 against Ray Rice. That didn't go our way.
4th and 26 didn't go our way either.
4th and 26 did not go our way.
Great point.
And guess who won the Super Bowl? Guess who won the Super Bowl? It went the Baltimore's way.
And that's the funny thing is, and you bring up a good point, is the fact that number 1 seeds over the last 3 or 4 seasons are 2 and 6 in divisional matchups, because teams like our Chargers have been playing the playoffs since December 1st.
Yes, sir.
We've been playing playoff football for 6 weeks now.
As Philip calls it, it's round 6, baby. Round 7 now. Shit.
Bolo.
With Bolo. Hashtag.
Bolo!
Bolo, baby.
Has that taken off?
We're down here getting final scores from Charger fans. We're down here at Cali Comfort Barbecue. We're down here in Spring Valley, California. Come on down, have some beers, hang out. A lot of Bolts fans here tonight, so.
A lot of pretty Bolt honeys, too.
Oh, Bolt honeys everywhere. They're chilling everywhere. But we're going to get out of here, I think.
No? Bolt Pride's got more to talk about.
Oh, we got Bolt Pride here. Hold on.
I'm parched.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Guys, we got a quick little pause in the action. Sarge wants to come up and talk a little more Chargers football, and I got to give him the respect. He is the Godfather. Sarge is the Godfather. So we're gonna give him a second to gather his thoughts. He's gonna come up here and show us some Chargers love.
We know other people that's known as the Godfather, but they're not even as cool as this guy right in front of us at all. So, Charger football all the way. It's been a good playoff. I think it's been a good playoff talk here tonight. Really, I mean, I think everybody's contributed a lot. The fans have contributed. I think everybody's having a good time.
Everybody is fired up.
I think, like we said on the show on Wednesday, I want to just enjoy the ride. I don't want to lose the game on Sunday, but if we do, you know what? So what? We had a great season, and the future is bright. Exactly. And the gleaming. Get in here, Sarge. And the future's so bright, it's not even funny. For me, it's one of those things that you carry into the next season. You get better in the draft. You know, I'm not here to talk draft football. I want to go in there and knock Denver's fucking ass off. But you know what? If we happen to fall to the Broncos, we've had an awesome season, and I can take them.
Sarge, you got some more to talk about. You got something on your mind.
I had food on my mind. You always
Share it with Bolt Nation.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, listen out there. All right, as an Air Force sergeant, I've traveled many places. Right, I've been to Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, overseas, and all of you guys know what comfort food is. I've been to Philly, Chicago, and all that stuff. All I have to tell you guys, if you want to find a place where you guys know what comfort food is all about, you guys got to stop by Cali Comfort. You guys come in, nice warm environment, great food, great wings, great ribs, great hospitality, to the point that when you start eating the food and you're just relaxing in the comfort, you walk outside, you won't even know what state you're in. It's just beautiful food. Great hospitality. I want to let you guys know I've ate ribs. I'm munching on some wings. I've ate wings from here to the East Coast. I was up in Philly for the Charger win against Philly. Had some wings there along with their damn cheesesteaks, Pats, and Geno's. So, but I'll tell you what, guys. You guys decide to come down to San Diego. If you guys don't know how to get to Cali Comfort, call the Sarge. We'll get you here. You'll think you're at home.
Absolutely. Cali Comfort. You know, I've had a lot of barbecue in my lifetime. Plenty of tailgates, plenty of parties, plenty of football. But the thing that I like about this is it's home cooking. And it comes to the heart as a San Diego Charger fan, a Padre fan, a San Diego fan in general. We need some home cooking.
Like I'm saying, man, we went to the Kansas City game a few years back, and this food's right up there with them. All Gates barbecue, all that good stuff. This is right there with it. It's fantastic.
I was in Kansas City, no point. Yes. I was in Kansas City, no point. Sat 3 rows up in their end zone.
That was the year we were out there.
And I got
What do you think of that, Sarge?
And I got pelted.
Thinking, man.
Hey, I got pelted with peanuts from off-duty KCPD, and I've survived that. But anyway,
You know what? They're just a bunch of haters. They don't like the lightning bolt on the other side.
Kansas City don't like no other
and just want to let you guys know, they have great barbecue. They can't cook carne asada, so anyway.
Hey, I got relatives across country, and then the one thing they miss is home cooking Mexican food, man. They want Mexican food up the wazoo.
We're fortunate to have Tijuana right around the corner.
We have authentic everywhere.
There ain't nothing like some good barbecue Labrador.
Yes.
Little Doberman, come on. You got a copy on that? So I think we're going to wrap up the show here pretty quick. We're doing a Cali Comfort barbecue on-site location, our first one ever. Congrats to you, my friend. We've been at this. We've been at this for 3 years and just doing podcast, simulcast, and we're big fans just like yourselves. And I know you guys are because you guys are repping every time in the West End Zone. All Pride's here in the house with us. We want to thank everybody out there listening. All the great stories, predictions, and analysis, not from experts, just fans.
Hey, but that's what we are. We bring a fan's perspective.
We are show for fans
By the fans.
There you go. And this is San Diego Sports Junkies, and we're gonna sign out here. We're gonna get a big Chargers football on 3. Well, actually, what do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to do? We want to close
Last I
this.
checked, we are
Signing out, baby. It's the San Diego Sports Junkies. Thanks for listening. Peace out.